Hello and welcome to Mothership Gear. Today I'm with Hans. Hans, you brought over a Danelectro guitar.
Yes, I did.
What is this guitar?
It is the BT66 Danelectro Baritone guitar.
When did you purchase it?
I did not purchase it.
Oh.
It was given to me as a gift from one of my friends.
What a gift.
No kidding. For my 60th birthday.
Wow. That's a great gift.
It really is.
Were you surprised when you opened it?
Yeah. Yes.
Did you ask him why did you pick this guitar in particular for me?
Well, he knew that so my friend, his name is Tim Ninehouse. I don't know if that's okay to say that Tim Ninehouse gave me a gift of guitar, but Tim has a long storied relationship with Danelectro. They even have a Tim Ninehouse model that he's worked on. A great guitar player, and has really been a big part of helping the people at Danelectro with pedal development and guitar development. And he was a part of this whole rebirth of one of their lines. And so he knew that I was looking for a baritone, have been for a long time. I had another baritone, but Danelectro is, in my mind, is kind of the Cadillac of baritones. Interestingly enough, it is. But so I kind of always wanted one, and then they made this new model, and he got it for me.
So it's not just any friend; it's a friend who knows not only Danelectro well, but you well.
Yeah.
And that kind of resulted in this perfect gift.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So
I don't deserve such favor.
So a baritone, Danelectro as the Cadillac. Do you have any knowledge of the history of why that is? Why they became the baritone?
Well, I think that I don't know. I certainly wouldn't say that I'm an expert on the issue, but I think that in the 60s, when this guitar was originally created, my guess is that the options for baritone guitars would either be this or the Fender that like Glenn Campbell played on Wichita Lineman, and that you see that the Beach Boys used a lot, and so that I think those were the two options. And so and my guess is that the Danelectro was probably always a little more affordable than the Fender. Now this guitar is a little different, well, a lot different than some of the Danelectros that people are really famous for, because Danelectro is famous for making, and I don't even want to say what the it's like it's not a wood guitar. Right, this is.
Okay. Yeah, so it says here on Sweetwater's description that it's a semi-hollow alder body.
Yeah.
Warm tone, resonance that you'll love.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that's so amazing about this guitar, besides the fact that it's a baritone and has really cool circuitry and stuff, which we can talk about, but it is that, because the original baritones they're ones that I think became pretty famous. Man, I wish I want to say the name of I don't want to say it wrong, of what those guitars were made of, but it's those were solid body guitars. This being a hollow body thing, just as we've talked about on several of our episodes before, talking about the Duesenberg Star Player, there's a thing about a chambered guitar. It does a thing that no other guitar can do.
Right. Yeah, maybe show us, because right here they say that there is a vintage style single coil pickup in the neck position and a humbucking dual lipstick pickup in the bridge that work together to crunch out thick, mellow tones.
Crunch out thick, mellow tones.
Have you ever crunched out some thick, mellow tones before?
I've crunched out tones. And I think they were thick. I don't know that thick and mellow necessarily are synonymous when it comes to guitar. Certainly not. If I'm going for thick, I ain't going for mellow. But I think just a second ago when I was playing, that was probably thick and mellow. The thing that makes it thick, of course, is the fact that it's got the low string, But so that's the neck pickup right now that I'm using. That's really great. And then here's before I get into using both of them. So here's the bridge pickup. So that's in the duals. That's in the dual setting. And then if you flip this guy up, it splits it, but that kind of doesn't show up that much until you put the two things together. Okay, I'm gonna put it back down. See, it sounds more humbuckery. Humbuckery, that's an interesting word. We just made it up. I bet that makes it into one of the reels.
Thick, mellow humbuckery.
Hey, you, stop with the humbuckery. I mean, that's really cool, that thin, the chimey thing. So see, it's got that quack, the Fender-y kind of quack. Pretty useful.
Right. It has a lot of diversity in tone, which is great.
And then, by the way, great. That's all that would be just amazing. And then you get this, so you got a baritone. It's got a trem.
Yeah, let's talk about that. They say that it has a Wilkinson vibrato bridge that'll let you add vibrato without pulling you out of tune.
Yeah, it does. It does do that. And I don't know if anybody's ever watched any of our, I hope people are rewatching or, visiting us again. And that's like one of my things is, and not like I'm the only guy, but like, more of effect as opposed to I'm never going to dive bomb this guitar.
Right.
I wouldn't want to do that.
It's a subtle thing.
It's a subtle thing, yeah.
It's one of those things when you're used to having it and then you suddenly have a guitar without it, you're like,
I know. What do I do? What do I do? I'm supposed to, what do I do when I play a whole note?
Right. It becomes a part of the muscle of playing, right?
Yeah, it definitely does. And I'm probably on 90% of the guitars I play live have trems. So when I play like the Les Paul that we did an episode of, and that doesn't have one, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, I have to remember how to play a guitar that doesn't have that. Right.
Yeah, so let's just throw in any last kind of features here. So they do say semi-hollow construction. They have the Pau Ferro fingerboard. Pau, P-A-U. Do you know that word? Is that a person?
I don't.
Pau Ferro.
I mean, maybe that's the kind of wood.
Yeah, it looks like it's a wood.
Yeah. And it's really beautiful. It's like it's lighter than a rosewood. It's kind of like, it's not ebony, and it's a little lighter than a rosewood. Very pretty. And the neck on this thing is just as, I think people often associate Danelectro guitars specifically because they're low price point. I think the price point of this is like, the standard, the retail.
$899.
Yeah, it's like $900 or something. So, obviously that's not what it's going to be sold for, but that's the retail. But, so they think, it's like, well, it can't be super high quality because it's going for that low price point. But I don't think that that's true. And specifically with this guitar, like the tuners are amazing. The neck feels great. These pickups are high quality. That bridge is great. I've never had any complaints about playing this guitar ever. And it's a really great tool for studio stuff. Right.
Well, before we go, why don't you tell us what we're running your guitar through?
Well, right now we're running through it's a dual setup. So I've got the guitar's going into a full tone, full drive, which we're not using right now. And then it's going into a Helix HX Stomp, but I'm not using any of the amp modeling. And then that's going one side of the Helix. So the Helix is a stereo thing. One side of the Helix is going to a DI, and the other side is going to my vintage Mesa Boogie amp, the Boogie. And so I think maybe one thing we should do before we traipse off into the interwebs is we should crank this thing up or turn the gain up on this. And I'll show you one of the things that this guitar is really famous for in the metal world. I'm not going to, just so that people know, I'm not like, well, and so I don't think, because I'm not going to turn the master up on the amp, I'm just going to turn the gain up. I mean, it may turn it up. Okay, it's turning it up. Do you want me to turn the master down?
Sure. Yeah, maybe like a hair. I think we're good. We have some headroom.
Okay, so now I'm going to switch. That's the Mesa Boogie just on its the rhythm channel. Okay, so I'm going to switch it onto the lead channel. The gain shouldn't come up that much, but. I mean, that's like on a metal track when you're trying to get, you're trying to get that girth from the guitar and make it sound angry. I think that kind of does the angry thing. I mean, it's getting there's a lot of delay and reverb on there. If I was tracking it, I'd take all that stuff off.
What about some lead tones through that circuitry?
Oh, there I am. I'm thinking that the pickup's is up here. No, it's down there.
Sounds great to me.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then if I turn that down, well, yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
we'll do that on the Mesa Boogie. We're going to cover the Mesa Boogie, so you guys will see us in a couple weeks talking about that. Probably. Who knows when these will come out? But yeah. Thank you guys for watching. This is the Danelectro. It is the 66BTT-R, correct?
Sounds good to me.
Or no, BBT, no R.
I think it's
R for transparent red.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it says on the headstock, it says 66BT,
yeah.
Which I'm assuming means this is a replica of a 66 model and it's a baritone.
Right. Well, it's a sick guitar. It's way more diverse than I thought. It kind of reminds me of maybe like your Duesenbergs in a way, like a darker Duesenberg. Maybe if you wanted a Duesenberg with some baritone under $900.
Yeah. Well, and by the way, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that when people are watching our podcast here, that when they hear that opening music, I think this guitar is on.
Yeah. I think it is. I think that's the one. I think we did the Star Player TV and
this guy.
That guy together.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they complement each other really nicely.
They do.
Yeah. So thank you guys again for watching. We have lots of episodes. As Hans mentioned, there's Les Paul, Star Player TV, SG, Fender, Strat. There's a bunch of stuff we've done. So
yeah,
check them all out. And we will see you guys next time. Later. Bye.